Hello, Americans. Ooh, look at that. Starting to sprout. Another friend and subscribers around the world. Right here, man. That one's getting leaves. Hope there's another one. Another one's starting to open. Another one. Gonna have to get some cages around these. I wanted to come and check these because yesterday, last night, Tim and Katie seen deer, you know, which we have a lot of deer. Seen deer out here, so I thought maybe they munched them, so I gotta get me some. Hey, get over here! I gotta get me some cages built and get those covered. Then I'm starting this this whole dang video. I'll tell you, doing the dang review videos, because I'll do a review video, you know, and then I'll be just doing one of my everyday videos. So you end up with all these clips, and they'll get jumbled up and stuff, and you know, trying to figure out what goes where. Well, I put through a lot over to the, you know, trash on the computer, and I ended up throwing a bunch of clips for this video, which I guess it ain't this video now, into the trash. And instead of taking the time and digging it all out, I figured I'm just going to start it all over. So there might be, I know there's at least one clip this morning. It was 24 degrees this morning. So I know this morning I started on this, and I'll clip that part in right here, but it was the cottonwoods, or the cottonwoods pods falling, which, you know, I'm pretty sure that I've lost all my dang trees, or at least the fruits on them. We're gonna go down here and check out these. Good morning. Well, I don't know if you can hear that. Listen. Red's rig's running over there. Hear all that? That. 24 degrees this morning. What you're hearing is the pods, the cottonwood pods are dropping. So probably lost our fruit trees, I'm pretty sure. But one plus, you know, losing all our prunes and cherries and all that. All the leaves are drooping on the fruit trees. It's at 24 degrees this morning. It's chilly. No trails in the sky yet, but cottonwood pods, so we might not have no cotton this year, so that part I'd be alright with. This video is going to be probably pretty chopped up, man, because I've done little sections of video over the last 2 or 3 days. Just got so much going on. Did get the garden area all. I need to go through and drive some T-posts and stuff, but I got the. What you doing, man? But I did get all the. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Oh, he just went right up. I mean, just on the other side of the camera, right in my face. You know what I was talking about? Oh, I did get wire all the way around. Kept them chickens out all day yesterday. So I've got to wire up the chicken wire, and then drive some T-posts, and then I'm gonna have to do something about height so the deer can't jump in there. But so now I'm gonna have to build some more boxes and start planting. Now it's up to 25. 58 in here. Better stoke up that fire. Oh, they're starting to get buds. That one's starting to get leaves. leaves. I guess the one good thing about starting this time, at least there's a lot of other stuff for the deer to eat right now than my poplar trees. Oh, here's a bunch of chicken wire. Man, I can lift that thing up. Lift that up, big cages out of that dang chicken. Maybe, oh man, I don't know about that. Part of their buds. Pretty dang awesome. Well, I wanted to check those, and then I pretty much, there's some big old chunks of pipe there. Oh, dang. Pretty much went down the rabbit hole yesterday on things going on, so I don't want to get too woo-woo on here, but I'll tell you, we're in trouble. Boy, look at that. That one didn't freeze. That's an apple there. That looks good. My one and only. I had that one. Then I had that one. Oh, this one. No, it's other stuff growing. Planted so many trees on this property. So much money, so many trees. Anyway, we're gonna talk about some of the. Well, I sure hope you getting prepared, man. Getting food and water stored up. Now I need to get some tools together. I got one planter box there that I pulled apart that was over here. Now I need to take the truck out there and get that one that I was showing on video the other day. I was trying to think of how much crap I really want to get into, man. Everybody will think I'm woo-woo. Because, I mean, there's so much stuff, things. I mean, everything from natural things going on to, of course, the elite. They're doing their, their 2030 agenda, man. I think they're right on schedule. Man, between now and 2030, which isn't very long, I think we're going to see stuff like you've never seen before. So you better be ready. Boom, just like that, from cut off sleeves back to the stocking hat, man. It dropped, I don't know, 15 degrees or something, just with them clouds. Sun's gonna come back out for a minute, but man, that one, man, it looks like it's coming from that direction. You just don't ever know. And then back to all the crazy crap that's going on. And I smile and joke about it and stuff. It's not very funny. We as humans, whoa. Unless maybe you're an elite human, got a big bunker for yourself that you're gonna go in. We're in trouble. Human race is in trouble. Right now, man, I'm just drinking some iced tea. I'm just watching the wheels go round and round. Just crazy. In the last couple of days, I'm sure y'all heard that somebody tried to assassinate the president again in the White House. We had 2 solar flares come off the sun, big ones. I can't remember, their ratings or readings or whatever of it, but those haven't even hit yet. So again, you may never see this video because those might take some crap out. So if it ain't something natural, nature is doing, then it's going to be something they. Again, who is they? they are doing. Anyway, man, I've watched so much crap. Like I said, I jumped down a rabbit hole and then just continued on, and everybody. Well, I don't know about I don't watch the regular news or any TV. I don't watch any TV. I don't even have TV channels. I don't have TV up here. We get no reception. Or I could get a big antenna maybe and get local news, but I don't have one. So all my news and everything, man, is from reading podcasts and YouTube. So you got to take all that for what it's worth. And you can only believe about a tenth of what you read or see. You really got to dive deep into it to find out. But I've been watching everything. One thing I'll tell you, and there's some channels that I watch that I have faith in and I believe, and I've seen stuff come true that they've talked about. One is DAP 2030, David Dubine. Some of his stuff, he goes a little woohoo, but he's got some pretty good stuff. And then there's I can't even remember their names. There's some other ones, talking about the shortage of food, man. Everything from what they're doing to the farms, and now all these states are on fire right now, and I don't really see much of anything on it. I haven't heard any podcasts, or the only thing that I've done is read a little bit about what's going on, and then people sending me messages. And then a bunch of hurricanes just hit. You don't see, and of course I don't know, but just from what I've seen, the news don't cover any of that, and they ain't covering all the, people can't even afford houses. There's more people living in cars, man. Like, I can't even remember, man, how many bazillion, man, living in cars, living in storage units, living on the streets, families. What in the hell is going on? And I don't think it's going to get much better. I think what I'm gonna do is, there's a cause listening to see. Sound like somebody's coming in. But I think I'll film a few things that I've watched and everything, and clip some of them clips in here, and just, it's more than more than I can sit here and tell you about, man. You can hear it from other people. We're in trouble.
In mid-March 2026, the United States fertilizer supply was at 75% of normal levels. That is a quarter of the fertilizer that American farms need to grow the food that feeds 330 million people. Missing. And it was missing at the exact moment when Corn Belt farmers were preparing their soil for planting and making their first applications of fertilizer for the season. Subsequent applications typically come from mid-April to early May, and again between late May and mid-June. And the reason a quarter of America's fertilizer supply was missing is that the Strait of Hormuz, which carries approximately 1/3 of all internationally traded fertilizer, had been closed since February 28th by the Iranian military in retaliation for U.S.-Israeli airstrikes.
Food prices are rising again, and this time it's not just inflation, it's supply shortages. All the indicators are that in 2026 and 2027, we're going to have food shortages. So now's the time to act.
2027, and did we not, Ransom, say this? 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And this is the same thing. Oh, this intervention in Iran's only going to take a few weeks. We're going to be out of here in a month. Oh, wait, it might take 2 months. Now they're talking 2027. This is the same exact playbook, same exact lengthening of the objective. Now it's 2027. So you're telling me that everything's going to go up in price weekly or monthly until 2027. Like the amount of wealth extraction from one segment of the population to another over these next 7 or 8 months, people at the end of this are just going to get really pinched in terms of affordability for foods.
Well, we'll just start off here.
You see that empty spot in the U.S. that doesn't have big fires on it? It's like right there in the middle.
Let me guess, Ransom. There's natural fires. Got to be brush fires, forest fires, all kind
Right
of
there.
amazing.
There's that empty spot right there.
Oh, great.
And actually, this is better than it was a little while ago because the winds have died down where I live down here. But they did have this whole area, half of Texas, almost all of New Mexico, all the way out here into Kansas for fire warnings because supposedly it's super dry. And this had nothing to do with that chart because I hadn't seen it yet when I pulled this up. I was going to tell people if you live in cow country, which is right here, you might see some more fires. If you don't remember, a couple years ago, global warming hit this area and lit a bunch of fires on purpose. I mean, on accident. Well, it was global warming, right?
It's always global warming, Ransom. It's always never human. It's always global warming, always human caused, never natural, right?
But that's that empty spot right there. And I was, I was actually going to bring that up. How much more food infrastructure do we expect to see go up in flames this summer? Because I've been watching it at least for 10 years straight. There's been some kind of thing, especially rapidly increasing in the last 5 years, where you see production plants, just, like anything that has to do with food going up. And then we've had train derailment and, the whole infrastructure is falling apart.
About they don't want to get, so what kind of medical treatment are they looking for here? Because I wanted to relate that to the draft that's about to begin in America. Is it a mental health crisis or what is going on here? Are they depression? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so a lot of these things are being overlooked. Understand this. So when we come to the draft, do you think that they're going to overlook quite a few of these things too to get the boys in line to sacrifice for the homeland? Of course they will. They're going to turn a blind eye to any kind of weird mental illnesses that you don't want or need on the battlefield. And imagine giving these guys like live weapons where if they disagree with you, they're actually able to pull the trigger.
Well, not to go woo-woo so early in the show.
Go woo, it's early, it's Thursday, we're allowed.
If you had an agenda to get rid of people and also an agenda to make them volunteer for it, you might, think about creating a war scenario in which literally the bots are the ones fighting. And then you're just shoving people literally into the meat grinder. And you've been watching that stuff in Ukraine. It's horrible. They have no chance. They're out there. They're at the whims of the technology. And they're not, historically, these governments like Russia, China, and the United States don't value the soldier as much as it values the advantage that it can get from something. So they're perfectly willing to send people into the meat grinder and almost voluntarily. But it's not just that. That's the funny part about it. Well, it's not funny, but it's not just that. Like I said, back here, all the regular jobs are starting to be taken. Even little stupid security jobs, like the mall cop. And we've been seeing these at different places in the U.S. They're using it for security around businesses. Now they're marching around in the cornfields. You can use them to get rid of pests. You can use it to find out who's poaching. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. But it's not just that. That's just the friendly aspect of it. They actually have a machine that'll go through there and pull all the corn. They have a machine now that they're working on that will pollinate the corn because, as you know, pollinating the corn is kind of hard. You put a little, sack on it and collect the stuff and then make sure it's on there. They have machines that are learning how to do everything that humans do. And when you put it in perspective that they're now coming out with smaller and smaller drones, even pollinating can be done via technology. So maybe they're not really worried about the bees dying off. Maybe they're not really worried about some of these things that classically are environmental arguments about, the bees dying, the ozone, global warming. All of this stuff can be solved via AI and robotics. But what they don't need is a bunch of people. And they're going to be using these robots, in a sense, to do that. And then all around...
Well, wait, hold on a second, Ransom. Now, that thing you just piqued my interest. You're saying that this thing can pull up crops, too. So imagine...
Well, not this dog, but...
if only corporate America or corporate world is allowed to operate and grow food and they deem your back garden's illegal, and then they just send those into a farm community and rip up anything that's growing that's not of corporate compliance in terms of seeds or seed technology. oh, you're not growing it with any fertilizer given out by XYZ ag company. Well, you're not allowed to grow it then because it has to be from an approved. You're not allowed to make your own fertilizers or compost on your own land. It has to be from an approved vendor. So that's an illegal grow, basically. So these things, I've seen something where they had ants that were also robots, but the ants were made to deconstruct, not to build a colony, but to rip a colony apart. And this is the direction they're going with, the deconstruction of and the use of robotics to deconstruct and destroy systems. And they're also on the inverse, they're made to build systems faster and more resilient than humans can. So just put that into perspective. If it comes down one day where they deem your back garden illegal, then they'll just send a couple of these dog bots in and they'll just go through the neighborhoods walking around. You know, they have thermal cameras on them so they can obviously see people come. And you could try to hide in a cornfield, but on a thermal camera, you're just going to glow. You're not going to be able to hide in that. And, you know, just food for thought on the drones on the Civilization Cycle podcast Telegram feed just before the show. I put up one that had all the drones that were banging on these soldiers that couldn't get away. Like dozens and dozens and dozens of them. I don't care what environment they're in. If they're in the forest, if they were in an urban environment, hiding in the rubbish, blending in, out into the grasslands with tarps that looked exactly like real camouflage tarp, where a human would miss the tarp. The bot or the drone picked right up on it, boom, and then you should see the size of the explosions. Like, there's just no way. And eventually, if we manufacture 8 billion of these drones, then one's going to be set aside for you too. And if AI is able to take over the skies and command of CENTCOM and any other military command, as well as control of the skies and that whole domain, they could set out billions of drones, one for each person, and just hunt and eliminate humanity, literally eliminate it. Because I saw these drones, it's very scary. These are military guys in top shape. They couldn't escape. There's no way to hide. It was thermal. Your camouflage isn't going to work. Your speed's useless against these things. And it was terrifying watching the video. I had to watch it a few times going, no way. How can these guys not get away from that? They were hiding behind trees. And the charges in there just blew through the trees, and the entire trunk shattered, you know, that kind of explosive forces. So getting behind a wall, nothing. Jiving under a bunch of stuff, the entire building and the roof blows off 40 feet into the air, kind of concussion shock. I mean, these things are nasty. These drones are just deadly, man, like incredible, dangerous, kind of wow.
All right, so I recorded some of that, man. I kept letting it go because that whole, you know, especially the, you know, civilization cycle at the end there with Ransom and David. You know, Ransom, man, I really like him. David too. Other than David Devine talks over Ransom a lot, but dude, there's so much, you know. And that was one. You can actually watch that whole program. That was last Thursday night. You know, and every Thursday night they do a show, a podcast, or whatever you want to call it, that I watch. And that one, man, talking about all the drones thing, that kind of freaked me out, man. So, and then I don't know if I left it in, but like I said, man, first is the technology and I don't know who it is, the elites, or whoever the heck they are, doing their thing to us. All the lines in the sky, to everything, man, that they're doing to us. And if it ain't that, then our own nature, or whatever you want to call it's doing it to us. These are some crazy, crazy times. Alright, man, y'all be careful out there in this crazy, crazy world. Stock up water and food, you know. A lot of this stuff happens. I don't think that's going to even matter, but it might. You know, all you can do is prepare the best of your ability and hope and pray for the best. Good Lord willing, them creeks don't rise. Dogs. We'll be back in tomorrow. See ya. Okay.